Hello and welcome back to another comma making guide with no confessions. Want to level and make commas at the same time? Trying to get your hands on that sweet piece of exo-maged gear, but falling just a few million commas short? Well, look no further. This video is going to show you the best mobs to fight in the level 150 areas on both the Echo server and the Llyzaelle server. That's right, for the very first time I have created and logged a character on the Llyzaelle server so I can help my single account followers in their quest to killer comma domination. If you're new here and want to get the inside scoop on future comma making guides, among other things that I do on this channel, remember to hit that subscribe button. Now here's how these videos work. I grab a handful of areas, list all the resources those mobs will drop, check the market value, and then I use 100 fights as an equalizer against their drop rates. Finally, I test those drops for myself in a handful of fights, display the comma results, and give tips and tricks on how to fight the enemies in these areas. In this video, we will be looking at the results for 3 level 150 areas. The first one is on Odo Island, the tree Kiholo trunk and foliage, the Cania Plains, Stone Tusk Desert, and Neutral Pandala, Nolifus Island. If you're on the Echo server, I'll tell you up front, I got 2 recommendations for you, but if you're on the Llyzaelle server, there is a jackpot waiting for you. The first area I'll display is the area to avoid on both servers, Stone Tusk Desert. The only resource with a decent value is called the Elena Hare, which runs an average of about 5,000 commas on Echo, 12,000 commas on Llyzaelle. However, the enemies have a lot of long-range AoE attacks and cast big heals on one another, making it hard to turn a fight quickly. It took me 26 minutes to complete 3 fights, and in that time I only dropped 5 hares. So with the XP not being all that great, if you combine that with low comma values and long fights, I'd recommend avoiding this area. The second place I went to in Neutral Pandala is Nolifus Island. It was really good on Echo, but a huge winner on Llyzaelle. The XP up here was outstanding, and honestly, probably the most fun I've had fighting mobs for one of these comma making guides. These things were so much fun. A word of warning though, this area is aggro to all levels depending on the mobs. Enemies in this area range from levels 150 all the way up to 440. So even if you're a level 200 character, watch out, you could get aggroed into a fight. I'm going to display all the resources I removed from the table in this area just because they were dropped by enemies that were well above the 150 range. From the enemies that remain, what you're looking for is the Leopardo Ghost, who drops the Leopardo Ghost Bones, averaging about 5,000 commas on Echo and an amazing 17,000 commas on Llyzaelle. And with a 20% base drop rate, you can get a lot of these in a fairly short amount of time. During my time here, I managed to do 5 fights in 26 minutes, which wasn't bad, dropping 23 bones, which gave me almost 110,000 commas on Echo or 400,000 commas on Llyzaelle. That's a possible 15,000 commas a minute. Now I did log in a few days later to double check the values, and they'd fluctuated only a little bit. I only bring this up because I know the population on Llyzaelle is much higher than on Echo, so depending on how many people see this video and rush up there to start grinding, I don't know, it could change pretty quickly. The last area I went ended up averaging about the same on both servers. However, on Echo there are 4 fairly valuable resources, but on Llyzaelle there is only 1. But the values between the 4 and the 1, when you combine them, they come out to about the same. This area can also be a little tricky to get to just because you have to get to the inside of the tree trunk on Odo Island. If you have the Odo Treetop Village zap, getting here's a breeze. What you're looking for here are the light treaclers and the air picocos. The light treaclers drop a stump and a knot, and the picocos drop a rump and a nut. I can't hardly ever say that without laughing. Over here I managed to turn 5 fights in 22 minutes, which was the fastest of the 3 areas. However, the XP was definitely not as good as on Dofus Island. But during that time, I dropped 17 stumps, 10 rumps, 3 knots, and 1 nut. On Echo, the total value came out to about 130,000 commas. On Llyzaelle, it was still about 100,000 commas. Okay, I got some tips for you fighting in these 2 areas. On Dofus Island, there is a space that's empty of enemies on the location right where you get off the bridge. If you're running multiple accounts or are with a team, have one person zip around the island and try to mark the locations with the mobs that have the Leopardo ghosts. This will make avoiding aggros easier. Also, don't linger too long looking at your drops or your XP after a fight. This could get you aggroed. The enemies over here will also drop all 4 elemental artifacts. These have very little value in the market. However, if you have a minor profession leveled up, craft these into soul stones. The soul stones will sell much faster in the market, or you can keep them for yourself if you're doing arc hunts or capturing dungeons. In the tree trunk, a lot of these enemies try to use pushback damage on you. Consider equipping some pushback resistance equipment or trophies to reduce the damage. Also, watch out for the snail mates. They swap places with you and leave a white glyph in their previous location. If your teammate starts their turn while standing on one of these glyphs, they die instantly no matter how much health they have. However, on the plus side, you can use these also against the enemies. Try to position enemies on these locations during your turn, and when it becomes their turn, they too will instantly die. And finally, you can use the glyphs on the snail mates as well. They just can't be the glyph that they left behind. So if you have 2 or 3 snail mates, try to keep a mental note of which one left which glyphs and put them on opposite glyphs and they will die instantly. Okay, that's everything I got for this video. Let me know in the comment section below if you have an area that you'd like me to compare or a particular level you'd like me to jump to on the next video. If you could do me a huge favor and hit that like button, it'll help YouTube promote my video and my channels. Also remember to hit that subscribe button if you want to know exactly when my videos go live. Turn on notifications. Thank you all so much for coming. Hope you found this useful, and I will see you on the next one.